Hi, Kara here, and it is really great to be making a video today. I am on vacation up north. It's a wonderful day in the North Country here, and I just want to take you around here and show you how beautiful. Look outside there. Look at the lake right there. It's certainly God's country. It's absolutely beautiful. The sun is shining. Look at those beautiful birch trees. Makes you just want to color. So that's what I'm doing today. I am going to do a color video with Copics. Now I've taken the course Copic. Isn't that terrible? I can't even think of the name, but it's Copic Markers for Card Makers. And Christina Werner, who is excellent with the Copic marker. Sandy Allnock, amazing. She's with Operation Right Home, and she just does wonders the minute she puts a Copic marker in her hand. Absolutely. Learned so much from these two artists. And there's, in that class, there's 3 or 4 other ladies that are amazing with the Copic coloring, but Sandy and Christina, I really gained a lot of insight from those 2 ladies. So I'm going to just show you some of the things that I did learn. Here is one of the cards I made while I was here. I brought my Copics with me right there, and when I was flying, I just took my bag and I had a half an hour to practice in the airport, so that was nice. And I'll show you, when I got here just a couple of days ago, I put together this card. I'm learning to make texture. I'm practicing with textures. So I did this little card with the flag there, just put a little flag, and I put some glossy accents on the married, which was already on the card. And I used these images I printed off onto that Recollections 120-pound cardstock. Love it. From Michaels. And I used some of the enamel accents here to do the eyes, the little doggy's eyes. I don't know if you can see that. And the little bird's eye that was already on the paper. Just took a tag, something quick and easy. Put a little pearl here on the dog's collar. And that was one of my practice cards. It's fun to do. And let's see. I did a few. I've been practicing with my Copics since I've been doing the classes, and I really enjoy it. I love Copic markers. So let's just show you here some of the this little, let's see, I'll put it against the black. You might be able to see it better. So I'm learning to make texture. I've always liked to you know, make animals look like they actually have fur, and I'll show you that. Really cute. So that is going on. I think this little fella is going on this paper. I've been choosing papers. I brought some stencils, and I brought some just some mixed media stuff. And I was practicing with that. And let's see, I did this happy. I'm on vacation, but I'm still, look at this one. Isn't this cute? This is on vellum. This is going on a card. And this here, let me jump out of there and show you. Oh, I put it away. I can't show you. But anyway, it's a gold mixed media paste. Isn't that beautiful? So, let's see. So we have the little fox. And he's going on this piece of paper right here. I think that's the one. Yes. And I just chose different patterns of paper. And this little one here doesn't have a ton of texture in it, but shadows, but it's still cute nonetheless. Did that one. I'm just making cards for that little guy. And this little one is going on this paper. Isn't he cute? So I used the white enamel and the black enamel here. And I'll show you, that's what I'm going to practice with in a second. And here's my little brown dog right there. And isn't he cute? So that's what we'll be doing today. And I'm going to show you a few things that I have learned from the class that have really meant a lot to me in my coloring. Excuse me a minute. Thirsty. So one of the things that was really exciting in this class is to learn the system, the numbering system. So I thought I'd sit here and just show you as we color. First of all, it is knowing, I have the book here in case I forget. We all know that the first letters mean, I'm going to get these two, the reds. We all know that the first number is the color. So this is red, the R. This is YR, yellow, red, and so on. But knowing the second numbers, I used to think that they were, and you can call them whatever you want, but I took this off Sandy Allnock. She said that you need to learn what the numbering system is. So she would call this a YR82, not an 82. And now it's really helped me because this is a 3-9. And the 3 is saturation. This is the color of the saturation. Lower numbers indicate that they're more pure and vibrant. So the 3 is like, look how beautiful that is, compared to, let's say, the higher the number indicates that it's less saturated and toned down. So let's take this one, for instance. So you have a R8, excuse me, so the 8 is not as vibrant. You can see if you, I'm sorry, you can see if you look at that close up, it is not as vibrant as this, can you see that? As the red, the 3. So this is the intermediate classification, they call it. This is the color saturation. The lower numbers indicate that they are more pure and vibrant. So if I'm going to grab something that I want to be just really an exciting saturated color, I would go in a lower number, because the higher numbers mean they are less saturated with pure color. Does that make sense? Now, the next number, the second one, is the shade. The lower numbers indicate a lighter shade, and the higher numbers, it's a darker shade. So the 9, look how dark that is. But if I go and grab a 2, like this one, so 8 means it's less vibrant because the higher colors are less saturated, right? So the yellow, red, 8 is less saturated, and the 2, it is light shade. So if this was an 8-9, it would be not as saturated, but it'd be a brighter color. Does that make sense? Honestly, it really helped me here. Like if I was going with a 5, look how dark the saturation is in this color. Can you see that there? Then this one. It's more to the blender, the 0. The lower the number is more with the Copic blender solution, the 0 solution. But the higher up the number, it's taking out the solution and putting more color in. So an 8. So you want to get the second number. If you want it really vibrant, you want it to be a lower number. So let's grab, let's just say, looking for a, okay, so we got a red, violet, 6-9. So 6, it's saturated with, 6 is around, the higher the number, the less saturated it is. So somewhere in the middle. And then the 9 indicates that it is a darker shade. So the 9 is really dark. But if it was a 2, like this one, it would have less color in it. It wouldn't be as saturated. It'd be the lower numbers indicate a lighter shade. So that is really light. And the 8, it's not a vibrant color, right? So I'll show you as I'm going. That just really helped me. So now I call them by the numbers. So it would be an R39 or an R59. That way I want to get to know the middle number. How much saturation is there in the second, like the first number that's there? I want to know how much saturation of ink is actually in there. I know the lower numbers, that's less saturated and toned down. The higher numbers, more vibrant ink. The second one, that's a color shade. It's not the saturation, it's the shade. The lower numbers indicate a lighter shade, and the higher numbers indicate a brighter shade, a darker shade. So that helped me. I thought I'd share it with you today. So I'm going to take these and put them away here. And these Y's are going back in their family, just like that. And we will start in on doing a little dog. I thought that would be nice today. And I'm learning how, my daughter-in-law is teaching me how to edit. Woohoo! You! I cannot wait. Could you imagine not having to listen to me for 20 whole minutes to do a video? Now I am going to be able to show you coloring and fast forward and listen to music while I'm coloring, and I'm learning all that stuff while I'm here. It's absolutely wonderful. I thank my daughter-in-law for that. So let's just move this over and let's get our little doggy, and I will sit down. We're concentrating on this dog right here. So I think we're good on the camera there. There we are. So what I'm going to do first is, we'll see if I can edit this one. I want to lay down, I'm going in the gray family here. So I'm going in the T's. I have T3, T6, T8, and then I grabbed an N10 and a 100 black. So the first thing I'm going to do with my image is lay down. I'm going to wet the image, and I am going to do one section at a time, and I'm going to try and stay in the lines even though these are practice sheets. I want to get used to, and I'm going to cut it out, I'm going to get used to staying in the lines. That's just me, just helps me. And I actually did use them, as you could see, on my practice sheets. And it's, we're finished the course. I think there's one more video they're going to throw in at the end. But anyway, so this light color is down like that. Nice and wet. And this is that Recollection 120-pound cardstock. It's awesome for Copics. $19.99 at Michael's. And then use your 40% coupon and you're all set. There we go. So for the first, I'm not worried about the flicking technique. I'm not worried about any technique, just laying down some color. Now there's a lot of ways you can make this look like fur. You can take a terry cloth and put some of your blender solution on it and pat it on here, and you would get some really nice texture. But I like the flicking technique for this one. So I'm going to take a mid-tone, and for my mid-tone I'm going to use T8. I'm going to jump up from the T3 to the T8. I'm hoping you can see that here because I'm zoomed in. See the difference there? A big jump. So I'm going to try and keep my hand out of the way. So now I want the color source on this doggy to be straight on. There's no sun coming from this direction or this direction. It's straight on because I want to make it look like fur. So I am going to do the flicking technique. When I do it, I like to keep my marker straight up as possible. I'm going to go straight across the ear like this and flick out. Then I'm going to take it, and the more upright, the finer the line will be when you're using the flicking technique. And I've always done this with animals. It looks really nice when you're doing hair. So now you've built that sun coming in from, I'll show you this one here. This one, if you look at this little doggy here, you can see that I did it so that it was all over. It's kind of like he shook his fur. And there was light source at the top and everywhere in between. I think it made a really cute little doggy. But in this one, excuse me a minute, on this one, it just looks like a shaggy dog. See how shaggy that is? And the light source is coming straight on. Straight on. So that's what we'll do. So then I'm going to jump to the N10, and that's a natural gray. And I'm going to come in, and just like I started here, straight up with my Copic, like this. Just put some hair coming down, and have a really light hand when you do flicking. I'll show it to you when I do this ballerina, how awesome that is if you can keep your pen light on your hand. Now it doesn't matter if I'm bringing it up just a tad more into the dog, like that. And then I'm going to take my 100 and I am going to start all over, but bring these dark black flicks down farther into my gray. Oh, went out there. And then just start flicking up right through your first shade. There we are. And then I am going to take our lightest, which is the T3, and I am going to just go in the middle. I'm not going to grab from the top, and I'm not going to pull from the bottom. That's it. I'm going to show you that close up. You're going to get a shaggy look on this. Oh, can you see that right there like that? Let me see if I can get in like this. And there we are. See how you have that? You've got the mid-tone, and he looks like he's got wavy furry hair. It's really cute. So on this one, just grab a marker. This is a Copic. I love these multi-liners. And this is a 0.05, so it's going to be really fine on the end. So then you can just mark down what you used. So I used a T3, a T6, and we jump to the N10 and the 100. And that's what we used. Now I'm going to show you something here, what you can do that's really awesome. You can take your Copic multi-liner, okay, I'm going to keep this in there, and you can do the same flicking technique up at the top, but don't go down as far as you did with your black 100, your dark. I'm going to show you this. And then come up for added shading, but don't go, like I said, all the way up into your lightest color. And if I can zoom in on that, you get some awesome texture in this little puppy. Can you see that there? And even though, let me see where I am. There he is. I don't know if you can see that at the end, but it just brings out another layer of fur with your Copic multiliner. So let's go move on and do his little whiskers here. Now you can like flick out and do basically, I'm actually going to flick up just to move some of that black back up into like on his nose, because lighter colors move darker colors, right? Your 0 will move anything. It will literally move any color, but so will your light colors, your light shades. So I'm just putting a base down, and I'm going to show you 3 techniques of shading with animals that I enjoy. Does it make it my Copic certified? No. I am going to try and get Copic certified. Isn't that awesome? I can't wait. If I can, I would love that. But right now, all I want to do is practice. So I have my light color down, which we said was the T3. Then I'm going to move to the T6 right here. And that's our mid-tone. And I am going to flick it. I like to flick it. On this one, I'm going opposite. I don't want it as black on his little front face. And like I said, some long, some short. There we are. I want his middle section is, I want it to move out, if that makes sense. So in order to move out, I'm going to lighten him up. So the next color, my darkest color will not be 100, it will be T8. Okay, so we can put that here, T8. Now, this is where the lighter colors will force his little face to move forward and not be set back. I'm going to skip his little nose. Now I'm going to grab my T3 and I'm going to blend this out. Just grabbing those little marks that are at the top, because I don't want to lose the mid-tone. I just want to, I don't want to push it back. Okay, and then I'm going to take, excuse me, my multi-liner and add just little fine, excuse me, excuse me, strokes. And your multi-liner will not blend, so you'll always have those strokes there. It works awesome with, they're made to work with the Copic marker. And then we'll go back to our T3, and I am just going to blend out the center, and there you have his little snout, looking like it is coming straight. It's moved itself forward because of being lighter. Okay, so we'll move down to the body, and I'm just looking for some saturation here. There we are. Just getting it a tad wet. leaving his feet. So let's just work this in nice and wet. I'm going to leave those little paws till later and get it nice and wet so that it will blend nicely. Let's grab our T6 and get our mid-tone put down. Start at the bottom, move up, follow the lines like this, make your lines long, like so, and it looks really shaggy. I'm going to grab the T8 as my dark color. Phone's ringing. And it's not something every time I make a video, it doesn't matter where I am. Phone's ringing. There we are. And I'm going to grab the T3 and blend that in the center. Isn't that awesome? T8. They're going to think something happened to me. So I said I was going for a walk in the bush. I'm just pushing up this darker tone, bringing it down, and this is how you're getting a shaggy look in the center. Go to T3. I don't want to blend it out. I want lines in there because it's a fur. It's fur. Right? There we go. And while I have the T3, I would do his little tail, like so. Grab the 8 and I want it to go up, up, and do the light shade on the tip so it looks like it's moving up like that. Notice I don't want to touch the dark tone, I just want to color it in like that. Now the legs, the T3, I want the T3 in the center. I want, they're even more forward. So I'm going to lighten this up considerably on this. Okay. But I can't touch these lines because I'll push that color back. I don't want to do that. Then I'm going to grab the 100, the dark, dark. I want to separate the legs like this. Okay. Just like that. But I want it light because I want it moved forward, right? So let's grab the T6